Yes. Welcome to another episode of Ikezy Talks Sports.
Yo.
Segment is conversation with Ikezy, and like we've always been doing, we want to talk about conversations that have talk about things that are happening in and around the game, around the major clubs, around the major leagues in the world. And I have with me here my co-host, Soxin Jr.,
What's up?
an unfortunate Manchester United fan.
How to argue that at the moment?
You can't argue with that though, because
At the moment.
so what's it going to be? Amorim in or out?
Out my club ASAP.
But why? Why? I need you to give me 3 good reasons. I have my reasons why I think he should stay.
There is no valid reason why I should stay. You said 3 reasons. Okay, 1, he just sucks. Period. He sucks as a manager.
So
Secondly,
you are not taking into
he led
consideration
us-
the fact that where you are right now in this season compared to where you were last season, you are better off.
No, we are not. The point says we are. I get it.
So,
but
I mean,
we are actually not.
The point is actually a very clear metric of how
No,
you
so
measure.
this is the thing. This is the thing, right? After you spend, improvement is relative. So let's say you get into the team middle of the season and say in your first 20 games, just as an example, you get 10 points and 250 million later, because you spent 250 million during the summer, right? So 250 million later, probably even more. Yeah, I think so. Sesko was like 80 something or 80. Mbeumo was like 70. Cunha was like 60 something. Lamens was, I don't remember. So yeah, 250 makes sense. Probably even more. So if you spend 250 plus million and let's say after 20 games, my initial one was that after the first 20 games, you have 10 points. So let's now say after 20 games, you have 17 points. Or are you not supposed to? Like, relatively, you are supposed to have more points, but 17 points in 20 games doesn't necessarily signify improvement. It's just based on, okay, you spent more money, the team is better, obviously you have a little bit more points, but look at it holistically. No, we have not improved under Amorim. He sucks. His press conferences suck. He gets unnecessarily agitated against the media. And if you know me, you know that I do not like the media. But trust me, a lot of times Amorim about 2 weeks ago, was having a scuffle with Carl Anka. Why? Because he was asking you tough questions. Just answer the questions and keep it pushing. But no, it was in his feelings.
I mean, a job
yeah.
like Manchester United, a club Manchester United, is always going to be tough. Like, you can't expect that there will not be pressure, right? I think every manager that has come in to fill that position after Alex Ferguson has felt that pressure. And Amorim is not any different. Yes, generally, I think that he can be doing significantly better. Mind you, there might be an undertone of banter in my voice because obviously,
I want to hear why you think
I
Amorim
do
should
not
stay.
wish Manchester United well.
That would explain why you think he should stay.
So, and I think he should stay. But if I'm to be objective, I think that, and I always like to use Mikel Arteta as like an example for new managers, right? He needs time. Your CEO, was he your chairman? What's his name? Radcliffe, right?
Yeah.
When he came out and said he was going to give Amorim 3 years, I kind of agree with that. Now, here's the thing: he might get sacked before the end of the 3 years, but I don't think that it is all doom and gloom at the moment, right? I think looking at where you guys are on the table and the clubs that are in and around you guys, for example, Chelsea is right next to you, and Chelsea, they spent 2 billion in the last 2 seasons or so.
Guess what? They suck too.
Chelsea, no. We'll get to Chelsea because I think Chelsea's problem is completely different from what Manchester United is currently facing. I was discussing with Billy. We do a segment together, and he made mention of something. It seems to me that Amorim or Manchester United, I don't know, whatever it is that the structure of a football club is right now, it seems to me like they are building from the front to the back. Last summer, you guys brought in a bunch of attackers. Cunha, Mbeumo, Sesko, right? And then all talk, every single transfer rumor about what you guys are, or the profile of players that you guys are targeting next, has been midfield. The likes of Adam Watson, Baleba, right? Elliot Anderson. So it looks to me that, okay, the attack is kind of like sorted in a way. Bruno is probably leaving. You're bringing in a couple. So see, these players, when they come in eventually, especially in this 3-4-3 that Amorim is insisting I wants to play, I think it can work, right? Let me tell you something. Manchester United legend, especially Manchester United legend, you just have a problem with change. I saw Paul Scholes come out the other day and was like, Manchester United don't play 3-4-3, it's 4-4-2. Duh, who plays 4-4-2 in 2025?
Okay. Okay.
3-4-3 is not bad. Conte used it to win the Premier League. No, he
Okay.
did. It's been largely successful. Inter Milan played 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. They got to the Champions League final twice. It is actually not bad. But if you have the right players, and I think Amorim will bring in the right players, then, maybe 2027 or 2028 might just be your season.
The undertone of rooting for Manchester United to fail is so obvious in everything you said. Like, that's what somebody that wants us to feel. First of all, there's a lot of things to address. Let's start with the fact that the 3-4-3 under Amorim just has not worked. That was the same formation that basically took us from 5th, 6th, wherever we were before Amorim got into the club, all the way back to 15th. Same formation that lost us the Europa League final, which you can argue is the worst performance in a final you will ever see from a big team. Now, initially, I did not have a problem with the 3-4. Right now, I still don't really have a problem with it per se. All I care about is good performances and wins. Now, if you have insisted on the 3-4-3 for so long and you are not winning, it's time to change. Even if you are not tweaking the exact formation, at least tweak the system. Amorim has been very insistent on his system. Now, a few weeks ago, he said that we're going to change to a back four. He's still kind of lined up in a 3-4-3 type formation, but when you watch the game, you can tell that the 3-4-3 sort of morphs into
In
a back
possession,
four.
out of possession.
Yes, it morphs into a back four, which I would give him some credit for, because at the very least it's changing. Then he goes after the game and he makes a very dumb statement and says that the reason why he hasn't changed from 3-4-3 to a 4-man defense up to now is because he felt that if he had changed when the media and fans were pressuring him to change, it would show that he's weak and the players would lose respect for him. That does not make any sense to me.
I agree with you on that.
You don't get respect from insisting on something that is wrong. Like, that's just ego.
But here's the thing, and this was something that Pep Guardiola said, right? And he said that when Arteta was, in the thick, because there was a period when Arsenal were clearly struggling. The first 2 seasons that we were 8th, we went on, that we finished 8th in the league. We went on some terrible runs, bro. Like, I think in the first season, maybe from like September to like December, we were just losing. We won 1 game in like 10. The rest were losses. Like,
I remember.
And I remember Pep coming out and speaking, to the situation and saying that as a coach or as a manager, those periods, they tend to question your belief, like what you believe in. Now, that is during that period that you now be left with the choice. Do you stick to what you believe in or you change? Now, if you change, it kills your confidence. It makes you doubt yourself. Like, okay, this thing that I actually thought of, I don't think it's right. It's at the core of who you are as a manager. And I think that Amorim cannot change that formation because
he's changing it now.
And it's a problem for me.
No.
The fact that he's changing it now, I feel like he's going to change it into something that he doesn't believe so much in because of the pressure from external forces. And by external forces, honestly, the fans can be money. But you see those legends. And what's
Roy Keane,
Paul Scholes, and the likes, Rooney.
Yeah.
There's this podcast that they do. What's it called?
Yeah, I don't remember, but I know what you're talking about.
That they do.
Yeah.
Every time they just try to talk this guy down. And personally, see, I'm trying to be objective. I'm an Arsenal fan. I don't give a shit about Manchester United, but they should let this guy be. Like, give him the time, give him the opportunity, give him the space to be able to, enforce his ideas, not enforce his ideas, but implement his ideas to a certain point.
You know what the problem is?
The success will come.
No, it's not going to come.
It is going to come. You have to be patient.
See, let me tell you something.
How many seasons?
Trust me, I watch this team every single time. We are not a good team.
Now, you are not.
We
But
will
you
not
will
be. We won't.
Hey.
Okay, think about this. The 3-4-3 didn't work for so long. Then Amorim comes out and says, okay, I'm switching to a back four. And then he gave his very dumb reason, in my opinion. Then we drew the game against Bournemouth. We won the game against Newcastle. Injuries, all of that. Only for this guy to somehow go back to a back three against Wolves. What is wrong with you? Like, the back four gave you some improved results. So why are you going back to a back three against Newcastle? Like, why?
He's still in an experimental phase, right?
This is his second season.
Experimental phase.
Second season. Let me tell you the difference between...
Also, you have to take into consideration that you guys are missing some players.
See, that argument doesn't work. It doesn't work because when we had all the players, we were still trash. Did we have all the players against Grimsby? Did we not lose to
No. That's different. Now that's different. That was early on in this. Okay, so I'm making excuses for him, like rightly so, because I just feel like, okay, he needs. About
3 weeks ago, we lost to 10-man Everton.
I can see what he's trying to do.
With all the players.
Those performances will be there. They will be like, you will have those performances here. Trust me, I'm an Arsenal fan. We've been through worse.
All the time.
We've been through worse. There was a time where we were not scoring, and we were even scoring own goals.
Let me tell you why
there was that period. And that period we had Aubameyang, we had Ozil, we had good players. They were actually good players, but we were not performing. It was not working. And I remember that time. Okay, so here's where Arteta and Amorim are different. If you remember, we're also playing 3 at the back at the time.
Yes.
Right? And we played 3 at the back because of the profile of the players we had at that time. Arteta has always said that he wanted to play 4-3-3. Like, that was the eventual goal. But he had to play a 3 at the back first. And trust me, the results were terrible. There were times when we switched to 4-3-3, the result did not improve. He had to revert back to 3-4-3 or 3-5-2. And then window after window, he started bringing in his own players. Then he started playing the 4-3-3. Okay. With Amorim, it's clear. Okay. He wants to play 3-4-3.
Speaking of
let him play his 3-4-3.
Okay. Speaking of
let him get his complete players, and then from there you judge.
Let me tell you what makes the 3-4-3 ridiculous in this case, and I'll get to why Amorim, I don't even trust him to bring his own players. First of all, he's playing a formation that is playing players out of position. Your best player, Bruno Fernandes, has to play in the midfield too. That is underutilization of your... Like, think about it. Any manager, one of your priorities should be maximizing your best player's potential. You are putting your best player in a position that he is not used to. He can do the job, but that doesn't mean that is what suits him best. So now you're underutilizing him. There's a lot of instances like that. That in itself is a problem. How do you... And look, so it's not just strictly about the formation. It's a lot of nuances that you see when we are playing. Let me give you an example. You are playing against a team. They get a red card in the first 15 minutes. And you stick to a 5-man defense against a 10-man team. How does that make any sense? Like, there's rigid, like, it's too rigid. That does not make sense. Like, you cannot do that. In the game we played against Wolves, the midfield pairing was Casemiro and Ugarte. And we started the 5-man defense. Are you using 7 defenders effectively against Wolves? You know what's crazy? At Old Trafford, now, he made a change. I still don't understand the change now.
But who were the players that were available on the bench at the time?
Okay, what about him removing Zegzi and bringing on Jack Fletcher, who is a midfielder? So now you have 5 defenders, 3 defensive midfielders, and just Cunha and Sesko. Leave Zegzi on.
That for me, that was inexcusable because
my point.
But I've also come to learn something, and that's why recently, or a lot of the time, I'm very careful in my criticism of Arteta. because we are fans. We don't have all the information. We don't know what is going on behind the scenes. It could be a case of, they're trying to manage his load. Maybe he had like
Do you know what
a
Amorim
slight
said?
injury.
Do you want me to tell you what Amorim
Amorim
said?
will always protect the players.
No, Amorim doesn't. He doesn't protect players. That's the point. He didn't protect Rashford. He doesn't protect. Who has he protected?
I mean, players that if you're going to play in the system, see, treatment of Rashford, Garnacho, and the likes.
Amorim threw our young players under the bus last week or 2 weeks ago when he was talking about how this Ari Amas is struggling. Right after he won Player of the Month for Sheffield Wednesday, guess what? He just won the second Player of the Month on was it Friday? So now he has won back-to-back. Amorim threw under the bus. He threw Obi under the bus. Like, Amorim doesn't protect anybody. He just looks for excuses. That's all he does. Looks for excuses. Everybody's at fault except him.
Okay, so, I mean, Manchester United, my conclusion on this is you want Amorim to be sacked.
Yes.
The board, it looks like, for whatever reason, they're giving him 3 years.
It's very unfortunate.
I think it's a good timeline, right? I mean, they have invested, he's building his own squad. So what would you have?
No,
you have him get sacked and then somebody else comes in, the person wants to play different formation, and then a lot of these players that you guys...
You know what's funny? I don't think the players will be complaining.
It's going to be a problem.
Not necessarily, because I don't think the players will be complaining if somebody else comes in and they want to play a different formation. I don't think the players are complaining. Bruno Fernandes certainly isn't complaining. That probably means he goes back to his number 10 position.
I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
However,
Menu is not complaining because that probably means he gets into the team.
Wait, we'll talk about Menu another day. I think the last episode we did touch on Menu, and I said a lot of things I didn't agree with. But one thing I agree with you on is the fact that Bruno Fernandes is playing out of position. However, Bruno Fernandes made an interview. He said something like a couple of weeks ago where he said it looked like the club were trying to sell him on. Now, that makes a lot of sense to me because you guys have, and it still comes down to the formation that you're playing. You guys are playing with 2 10s in Cunha and Umbremo, right? And then you have Bruno Fernandes. Now, the problem with that formation is Bruno Fernandes cannot... So the way your 10s play, Cunha is direct. He runs with the ball, right? He's very direct. Bruno cannot do that. Umbremo is more of a, getting behind, go wide, make a cross, and finish. Bruno Fernandes is not that kind of 10 as well. Bruno Fernandes is almost like, let me play that risky pass. Let me always get the ball and find the runner. That's why it seems to me like where he's playing right now, even though it's not his best position, that's kind of where he fits. And I understand why they're trying to move him on, because in the position he's playing right now, he doesn't have the legs, to cover the amount of ground that he's supposed to cover.
Which exposes us a lot.
Exactly. And that's why you guys have to be patient, because the caliber of players that you guys are being linked with in the event that Bruno Fernandes departs, trust me, is going to do you a lot of good. Because if you are going for players like Baliba, Elliot Anderson, Adam Watson, those type of profiles, your midfield it will make sense.
Do you want to hear my pushback to that?
What's your pushback?
At Manchester United, whatever you have done in your previous club usually doesn't matter.
Yes.
You made a good point about, okay, we are going for these profiles. We'll get better. Cool. In the summer, we went for Umbremo, Cunha, and Sesko. They were all very good in their previous clubs.
Mm-hmm.
How do they look in Manchester United? Cunha looks like a fraud right now. Sesko is underperforming. Right?
Yes, Cunha is underperforming.
He was the one that signed Dogu. Dogu is ass. Like, his butt cheeks. My point is that Amorim cannot get the best out of the players he met at the club, and he cannot get the best out of the players that he signed. His best performer, quote unquote, is Umbremo. Umbremo looked like rubbish in his last 5 games before he went to AFCON.
I think it might be a case where until when you're cooking jollof rice, wait now. When you're cooking a meal, no, let me finish. When you're cooking a meal, right, you put the first ingredient, you put the second one, there are certain points where the meal is not ready, right? So if you taste it at that point in time, it's not, it's not looking like that is what is happening right now.
That analogy is correct. I don't think it applies to Manchester United.
It applies to Manchester United because I think that when you guys get when the entire team, is assembled, then everything will flourish. That's what I think. Right now, see, I will tell you for free. The likes of Casemiro, the likes of I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'll mention Dogu, right? I think
It's not
no,
fortunate.
it's unfortunate.
Doku
See,
is ass.
yes, I agree with you.
Amorim
See,
signing, by the way.
yes, you see, even the best of coaches have had misses with transfers.
So your
It's not new.
first ever transfer at the club will be a miss.
It is possible.
Your first one.
Think about it, and if you, it could do, and Dogu can actually be a stopgap, because I remember Arteta signed Cedric. Cedric was ass.
I don't think Dogu is a stopgap.
Cedric was ass when Arteta signed him. Arteta signed Pablo Mari or Edu or whoever. Those guys were ass. They've moved, like we've forgotten about them now because they were not in the long-term plan, but they had to be bought at that time because they were affordable and we needed something. We needed a quick fix. I think Dogu is one of those cases, honestly. See, all those Mazarawi and the likes, there are a lot of them in your club. Trust me, they are the ones holding the team back. Shesko is a project signing. It's still in raw form. It will take time. Like that Shesko signing is when the team is ready in the next 3-4 years. Shesko is going to be ready, and that time
let me
will
ask
be
you one
potent.
question. Let me ask you one
Do you
question.
understand?
Let me ask you one question. On paper, how many teams in the Premier League do you think have a better squad than Manchester United? Just on paper. Yes, just on paper.
I would have said Chelsea, but I think you guys and Chelsea are about the same because Chelsea, they just have a lot of average players in their squad.
Okay. Realistically, aside and positivity aside, assess objectively, where do you think Manchester United will finish?
This season, I think you guys will finish 5th or 6th. You don't think it's possible?
No, it's not possible.
I think you finish 5th or 6th.
We will not. We won't.
You will finish 5th or 6th.
Arsenal will finish above us.
Definitely.
Man City will finish above us.
Without question.
Chelsea will finish above us.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I do not think so.
Why not?
This ain't Chelsea.
See, again, I already said Chelsea is ass, and I know that Chelsea is ass.
Let's go on.
No, the table, in the table, they are currently above us.
I am telling you for free, this current Chelsea team, they don't even know where their next win is coming from. That's how bad the team is at the moment.
So you think a Manchester United fan knows where their next win is coming from?
But see, you don't know where your next win is coming from, yet here you are, high up in the Premier League table, around the likes of Chelsea and Liverpool. So what exactly are we talking about? And we are halfway through the season.
Let me tell you something. The league table, as far as I'm concerned, right now doesn't mean anything. Reason being that so far, everybody has been around the same thing. Everybody has been. Think about it. Chelsea are 5th. They have 30 points. Newcastle are 14th. They have 26 points. That's a 4-point gap between 14th position and 5th. 4 points. So the way the Premier League is, you win one game, you can go 5th. Lose one game, you can go 10th. So no position right now is real.
So are you trying to tell me that the likes of Sunderland, Brighton, Everton, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Fulham are things that you are genuinely scared about?
I finished 15th last season, so yes, I am.
Yes, you finished 15th last season, but
yes,
here you
everybody finished above us.
Currently 6th, above all these clubs, and your squad is better.
Again, 6th doesn't matter.
I think you're just.
Look, it's 4 points.
You are just being pessimistic. You are just being pessimistic.
There's no pessimism.
I don't like Manchester United. I will never root for Manchester United, but I think you're just.
You are being
over the top
pessimistic
in your analysis.
No, you can't say I'm being pessimistic when we finished 15th last season. That's not pessimism. I saw it happen. It's like, think about it. It's like a parent that has a child.
But last season you didn't have Mbeumo, you didn't have Cunha, you didn't have Shesko, you didn't have these players. No?
What do you think has been the difference between Cunha this season and Garnacho last season? What's the difference? Nothing. Matter of fact,
Cunha is a much more experienced player.
He isn't doing anything right now. He sucks.
So yes, the thing.
Mbeumo has been sucking.
I made a video.
Sesko currently sucks.
So I made a video the other day where I was talking about how Cunha is currently underperforming, right? I think he's underperforming. I think what is lacking in his game is the final pass, right? He's able to carry the ball, but when he gets in front of the box, he makes very poor decisions. Now,
I agree with that.
That is something that he can work on and can change. Also because he has the pedigree. He has done it before.
my point.
So, but
Amorim cannot get the best out of his players.
The pressure in Wolves compared to Manchester United is different. We have to always account for that. The margin is so thin, it can take a switch for him to get back that form. Trust me.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Manchester United beat Leeds today?
Yes.
I don't think so.
I guess by the time we put this podcast out, the match will have been played and we'll know.
Yeah.
I think you guys beat Leeds.
I think the game ends in a draw. If we don't lose, I think it ends in a draw.
Anyways, we'll continue this Manchester United situation.
Like, wait, yes, we will, but like, I don't like it when. See, I'm a Manchester United fan.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to God, like, I love the club. I'm always rooting for them. A lot of people question why I'm still supporting them. Valid question. But I'm looking at this thing as a whole, and I just know that under the current manager, we are not headed anyway. Like, it's just what it is. Like, is at this point, I've already accepted it. We will not get anywhere. We won't. You said that and be pessimistic. Think about it. There's a parent that has a child in a class of 30, and the child finished 25th in the class. And the current session, the child failed a lot of his CA tests. If the parent thinks the child is not going to go beyond 24th, 23rd in the class after the exams, you cannot say the parent is being pessimistic, because that's what the evidence shows. Like, I was excited when we signed Amorim. I didn't start saying that we'll finish 15th out of nowhere.
So
we literally finished there.
I disagree with you. I
lived it.
I'm telling you that the evidence this season suggests that you guys are going to finish in the top half of the table.
Okay, hold on. Our last 3 to 4 home games, we drew 4-4 against Bournemouth, a game we should have won. We drew 1-1 against West Ham. West Ham is bottom 3 in the league. We lost to Everton, a team that got red carded in the 15th minute. The score was 0-0, and we somehow lost that game. And then we just drew to Wolves. 4 home games that we should have won, and we did not win a single one of them. And you're telling me that I'm being pessimistic. How? The result is there. We lost to Grimsby. Like, see, Amorim has like a gazillion embarrassing results. I don't know how that guy's not been sacked.
So your last 16 games, you guys have lost only 4 times.
How many have you won?
You've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
There's no way we have 8 wins in our last 16 games. And even if we I'm
looking at it right now. It is not as bad as you think. And I'm telling you, the games that you lost to Man City. Yes, you lost to Everton. That was an anomaly. You lost to Aston Villa. You lost to that was an anomaly. Trust me. On a normal day, you don't lose to Everton.
Man City.
No, I said Everton.
No, it's not.
You don't lose. No, listen. Let me land my point. You lost to Aston Villa. That is normal. Aston Villa are the most informed team in the Premier League right now. The games that you drew, yes, you drew to Wolves. That was disappointing.
Wolves is the worst team. Wolves are 2 points. When we play 2 points.
Wait, now you drew to Bournemouth. Bournemouth is not a.
But we should have won that game.
Arsenal struggled against Bournemouth and we won 3-2.
It doesn't matter. We should have won that game.
You drew to Tottenham. I don't know. You guys have like
should have beaten Tottenham.
A romance or whatever with Tottenham. Forest. You drew to Forest. You lost to Brentford. But every other game you won.
See, let me tell you something.
You won Liverpool. You won Sunderland. You won Chelsea.
I'm going to pull it up on my own here.
You won Crystal Palace. Come on. You won Wolves. You won Newcastle.
Why do you say we won Wolves like it's
but you won Newcastle like this? No. You actually these are games. These are impressive games.
Hold on. Let me think about this. We drew to Wolves. That's significantly the worst team in the league. Like, at this point of the season, that's the worst record ever.
Due to Wolves.
It does not matter. Look, I don't care about Arsenal. I don't care about Manchester United. You should have beaten them. It's Wolves.
So are you going to say
not win that game against Wolves?
Because, have been so yes, I wouldn't have been happy.
My point.
But yes, the thing. Are you saying because you guys drew to Wolves, then Amorim has to go?
No, I'm saying that.
I'm telling you that aside Wolves,
no. I'm saying that when you stack up. We are not. Oh my God.
No, you have to add context to it now. Obviously, I just mentioned the teams that are better than you guys in the league, and those teams are ahead of you in the league. The teams that you are better than, you are ahead of them in the league. So why are you?
So now let's talk about our performances versus the team that we are better than. We drew to Wolves. We drew to Bournemouth.
That is the Premier League. It happens.
We drew to West Ham. We lost to 10-man Everton. Drew to Tottenham. Drew to Forest. Like. Okay, you said in our last 16 games we have won 8. What if I tell you that in our last 10 games we have won 3?
In
What
your
about
last
that?
10 games,
We have won 3.
yes, you guys are not in that vein of form at the moment. And my counter to that argument is, if you look at the clubs that are in and around you guys, their forms are similar. There's no need to panic. There is no need to panic. You have to understand where you are at the moment. You are striving towards getting better. You are not there yet. Until you get there,
I'm saying we will not get there under this manager. That's the whole point I'm making. We will not get there. Anyways, Ineos, if you are watching this podcast, sack Amorim. Thank you.
no sack Amorim. Long may Amorim's reign
You want him
continue.
to stay because you know that we are not going anywhere under
No.
him.
This is a sports podcast. This is a soccer podcast. I need to be objective. Like banter aside. Right?
Objectivity dictates that Amorim should be. Like, how do you keep a manager
But I'm looking. But
that
I'm
has
also.
had as
But I'm
many
also. I'm
embarrassing
also
results
looking
as he
at
has?
the stats. I'm looking at the data, like you said, and it's telling me that he deserves a chance.
What chance? He finished 15th last season. 15th. Like, no club in the world. Even the comparison with Arteta annoys me, because Arteta got into the Arsenal job at the time when Arsenal were very, very bad, and he finished 8th. Amorim finished 15th.
So
Do you know
yes,
how far 15th is from 8th?
you make a very
Even the Amorim
you make a very strong
comparison doesn't work.
argument. I don't think Manchester United should have finished 15th last season, but he came into the job midway into the season. You guys were already in a bad vein of form.
But do
The
you know
Premier
that?
League
Do you
is
know that? Do you
hard.
know that we were 4 points off top 4 when Amorim came in?
Yes, and
How?
when he came, he had to. So here's the thing. See, context matters, right? He's bringing his own ideas, his own formation, and everything.
Whatever
Obviously,
you are bringing should not get you to 15th in the Premier
See,
League. It should not.
Soxy, we're going to overexhaust this topic.
Okay.
Let's move into.
But me, I shall want him to be sacked.
You want him to be sacked?
Yes.
No wahala. I think
as soon as possible.
we can touch briefly on this Chelsea Maresca situation. I think obviously, whether he was fired or he resigned, the most important thing, or what the word that is out, is that Maresca is no longer the manager or coach of Chelsea Football Club. And it's unfortunate because they play Man City, and who knows how that is going to impact the results. As an Arsenal fan, I would want them to win that game. But the way it's looking, I don't think that's possible, because they are not in a good, their form-wise, they've been terrible. Yeah, Chelsea, they've been terrible. And honestly, I do not think Maresca was to blame or is to blame for their results. Here is my very strong opinion on the situation, right? And I said it a couple weeks ago in one of the episodes that I dropped, and it was out. Like, I think it's also well known now that his hands were obviously tied. Seeing news or things come out like, the medical team were having to determine player selections, like substitutions, talking about managing workload and stuff like that. So it kind of puts a lot of things into perspective, explains why he was rotating the squad as often as he was, even last season, right? And also why he was making some very weird substitutions, like bringing up Kopama when Chelsea actually needed him the most, right? So I don't like this programmability side of their model. Like, you can't treat this situation like it's like an AI or ChatGPT where, you just, by the 70th minute, regardless of whatever is happening in the game, certain players, this player has to come out, right? It frustrates the manager. And it in my opinion, it will not allow the manager get the best out of the team. Now, whether the players also think that Maresca was inept in his tactics, that's a different conversation, right? But the fact that with the setup, he was able to win the Conference League, which was expected, right? Chelsea winning the Conference League is like, they were always going to win it. However, the Club World Cup, in my opinion, was a big statement for Maresca. It was a big beating PSG the way they beat PSG, the way they got to the final. Yes, they didn't play the difficult things, but they got to the final and they won 3-0 in the most convincing performance I've ever seen from a Chelsea side. So that kind of gives Maresca that status of, oh, this guy looks like he's elite. And also the fact that Man City are currently cutting him to replace Pep should tell the Chelsea hierarchy that the kind of manager that they're about to lose. But I think they don't care, or it doesn't matter to them because their business model, playing everybody, giving everybody minutes, trying to preserve the squad or improve the value of certain players so that they can sell. They are literally operating that club like is a shop in Anambra, Onitsha, buying and selling, and it's affecting their performance. They are not able to stay consistent. And whoever it is that they bring in next, I just hope that the person is able to negotiate that part of the contracts.
Liam Rosinho.
What do you think about that guy? I don't really know. I think he manages Strasbourg. at the
Strasbourg,
moment.
yeah. So I give him this. First of all, I'm not a Maresca fan that much. I genuinely am not convinced that Maresca is a very good coach. Now, it pisses me off that I'm having to learn that his hands were tied. Because that weakens my position. Because now, well, if his hands were tied, that might explain some of the ineptitude that I'm criticizing him for. So maybe it's better than I think. That's first thing. Secondly, Chelsea they have this deal with, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I think there's something about Chelsea hierarchy and Strasbourg hierarchy that is kind of like interlinked together. That's why they sign a player and loan them to Strasbourg, because they just have this
I think
partnership
Strasbourg is like
type thing.
their child club, right? Chelsea's
Yeah.
parent club.
Yeah, something like that. So now, if they are getting a manager from Strasbourg, my first thought is that guy is a puppet. Which fits into this conversation, because what we are talking about is the fact that Maresca basically did not want to be a puppet.
Yeah.
So he clashed with the hierarchy and they sacked him. So I think Rosinho is going to be their errand boy, so to speak. And from a business side of things, it works perfectly for Chelsea hierarchy. Already, they are a very good selling club. Now, when you think about their business model of buying like 100 players, loaning them out, they get a few good performances, they sell them for a profit. Even the ones at the club, make sure you play them. If they play well a little bit, you sell them. Because that's the only thing that's the only way to make sense out of what Chelsea does. Chelsea sign players as long as they are available. Like, they just sign players to sign players. A lot of their transfers don't make sense.
Don't make
That
sense. Yeah, I
Garnacho
agree.
signing doesn't make sense till today to me.
I mean, a lot of their signings, and I
A
think
lot of their signings
Gittins,
don't make any sense.
Garnacho, Dilap, these signings were not Maresca signings.
I agree. At least in hindsight, I agree. So now it's like they just want to operate the club as a business.
Yeah.
Which tells me that they are going to fail. Because the thing about football is that you cannot operate football. I mean, you can think it's a business ultimately, but if your club is going to succeed, you cannot run it with a business mindset as your primary focus.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. That said, I'm curious to see what the next 3 years looks like for Chelsea, because Chelsea are a club that typically wins. Whether they are good, whether they suck, they just somehow win. Right from the time of Abramovich, they just managed to win one way or the other. So I guess based on that, you can give Maresca a lot of credit for winning the Club World Cup, despite how much his hands were tied. I don't expect them to win anything meaningful in the next 3 to 4 years. But historically, they are a winning club. So we'll see how that goes.
I mean, they could do well in the Carabao Cup this season.
I think you guys are playing them, right?
Yeah, I mean, see, that's the thing about
I'll be
Arsenal.
rooting for them for sure.
Semi-final last season against Newcastle, we lost 2-0 at home. We lost 2-0 away. Now we're in the semi-final again against Chelsea. Until this crop of players do it, I can't back them for anything. That's
Do
just
you think Arteta should rotate in that game?
Against Chelsea?
Yeah.
Hell no. I think play your best, your strongest 11, get to the final, win that final, and use that confidence to, win the other trophies that the season has to offer.
That makes sense. I think I agree with that for sure.
And we also have the depth to actually do that. So, like, there's no, I don't want to be that semi-final. I don't want to be seeing Nogard or Nwaneri or Uncle. Anyways, I think there's not really much to say about the Chelsea Maresca situation. I think a lot of Chelsea fans will agree with what we just said, right?
Yeah.
I think there needs to be a shift from that business model if Chelsea wants to actually succeed. If they don't do that, it's just going to be a loop, an endless loop. This Liam guy, Rosinha, He's going to be a puppet, like you said, errand boy, basically. And he will get to the point where he would also be frustrated, especially if he grows, in influence within the squad. You feel like he needs to do more, and they will be there again to do what? To chop his hand. Anyways,
I saw something about Chelsea fans wanting to stage a protest. I don't know
will
if
the
that's true or
protest
not.
really help anything?
It doesn't help anything.
I mean, the owner of the club.
At least it's good for them
makes
to
the
get their
decision.
voice out.
Yeah, I get. I mean, of course, that makes a lot of sense, but we'll see. As an Arsenal fan, my final thought on this, I will never catch me wishing Chelsea well anywhere. You will never catch me wishing Chelsea well. I will always wish them misfortune, and the fact that this is happening, I'm so happy. It is sweet my belly. Let me drink to that. Long may it continue. Maresca, okay, fine. Bring another person. It does not remove the fact that we own that club. I can't remember the last time they beat Arsenal. Home and away. We just do the job against them. Quickie, sharp. from the back. Anyways, now speaking of Arsenal, right? There are two things I want us to really talk about. I think the first thing is, I know you have an agenda. This is your agenda against Gyokeres. We'll get there. But before we get to Gyokeres, let's talk about Eberechi Eze.
I feel like you should
relax. Let's talk about Eberechi Eze first.
Okay.
Eberechi Eze, in the game that Arsenal played against Bournemouth today, as at the time of this recording, it was an unused sub yet again. I think this is the fourth or fifth game in a row that he hasn't played at all, and it's worrisome,
Yeah.
for him and for a lot of Arsenal fans.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, before the Aston Villa game, I wasn't annoyed that he wasn't playing. You know why?
Why?
Because the last game he played, which was the reverse fixture of the Aston Villa game at Villa Park, the first goal that Aston Villa scored was his fault. Matthew Cash. The thing about the way Arsenal plays or the way Arteta plays is you cannot neglect your defensive duty as a forward player. You cannot afford to switch off, right? He played from the left in that game, and he didn't track Matthew Cash. Now, mind you, before Matthew Cash scored that goal, a similar play had occurred minutes before that time that he did not track Matthew Cash, and Aston Villa could have scored. And Arteta did warn him, like, you have to track your guy, and he did it yet again. He didn't track him, and then Aston Villa scored. And as we all know, we lost that game, right? So I think that is the main reason why he's not playing. I know you are like, it's Eberechi Eze, he has to play now, But then again, he's new to the team, and he needs to understand the way we play. What do you have, like, a different opinion on that?
Yeah, I get the argument of Eze having to step up defensively and, like, just generally understanding the way the team plays. I understand that. But a DMP is crazy. Like, think about it. The game against Aston Villa, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal were up 3-0. The game was done. He was still on the bench. Then you guys scored the fourth goal. Okay, well, how about now? He was still on the bench. You guys have won, I don't know how many matches, but a lot of matches. You guys have won a lot of matches in a row now.
Keep winning. All we do is win, no matter what.
And some of your wins, like, think about was it the Wolves game? Okay, yeah, he played against Wolves. I think it was the Everton game. Like, you guys have
we won 8 in 10. Lost one, drew one.
But I'm supposed to keep Amorim in, right?
No, okay. Arteta and Amorim is a different context. Come on. Yeah, but we're talking about
the Brighton game, the Everton game. There were games in which you guys needed some level of creativity and scoring, and Eze did not come on. You guys won Everton with a penalty, right? It was 1-0. If I remember correctly, I think it was 1-0. Yes, it was a game where you guys weren't really creating anything offensively, and you guys wanted to kill the game off, and you could not. Same thing with Brighton. I think you went 2-0 up, if I remember correctly. Brighton scored one, and then the game was it got a little bit weird. My point is that you guys have been in situations where you have needed Eze, either to kill the game off or to come and create something. And for some reason,
wasn't brought in.
Eze didn't come in.
But we still won.
Yes.
So I don't think there's an argument there.
No, my point is that if you need an offensive player that can help you either bury a game or give you the edge, and the manager doesn't think he's the right guy, like Arteta has subbed in Gyokeres Jesus, he has subbed in Trossard, he has subbed in Martinelli, like he has subbed in players. Today, Madueke started, Saka came on. So like Arteta makes every offensive sub except one guy.
Except two,
Every
actually.
time,
One or two doesn't get
yeah,
them.
but Waneri was never like an established first team player, so nobody's going to complain.
So here's the thing again, because I did see an interview that Arteta did, I think the pre-match interview before the Bournemouth game, and a journalist asked him this question. Obviously, Eze is not playing. What's going on? And he said something. He said, I mean, Arteta is a smart guy. He knows his way around, the media. He said that Eze has, at this point of the season, he has played 22 out of 28 games. Right? Now, in his former club, Crystal Palace, or in his previous clubs, at this point of the season, he has never played this many games ever. So the fact that he has played 22 in 28 at Arsenal at this point of the season is the highest he has played in his career.
I have a pushback to that logic.
So it was like, so it's all good, because if you think about it, it's also okay. We're managing his workload, even though I don't really believe that. I think
of course, that's cap.
I think
Clearly,
Eze is getting punished for those mistakes, and he has to learn. And sometimes you have to learn the hard way. Now, here's the thing: we have some juicy fixtures coming up that he will definitely play. Right? We have Portsmouth in the FA Cup next weekend.
but you didn't buy Eze to come and play against Portsmouth.
See, let me tell you something. Eze this season, I think he has 10 goal contributions. Do you know that, right? He has 10.
I didn't know that.
He has 10 goal. I would dig up his stats for you now. Eze has about 10 goal contributions this season. Let me check through the squad. Statistics.
At least he has 6 in the Premier League, so it makes sense. Because I know he has scored in the Carabao
So he has
Cup
4
too.
goals, and
But that starts padding though, because if you have 4 goals in the Premier League and you scored 3 in one game,
he has more than 2 assists. He has assists in a couple of games. Honestly, I don't think this particular stat is correct, right? Because he scored an hat-trick. He scored an hat-trick against Tottenham. That's 3. He scored one
against Crystal Palace.
against Crystal Palace. That's 4.
I
He
think those
scored
are
in
his
the
Premier League
Carabao
goals.
Cup. That's 5.
Yeah.
He also scored. There was another goal he scored. Let me try to remember. So let's hold that 5. He has assisted Gyokeres on 3 occasions. He has assisted Martinelli on 2 occasions. That's 5. That's 10. Right? So that's not a bad return so far, midway through the season, for the amount that we bought him. So honestly, there is no need to panic. But I know that, it might come in against Liverpool. He will definitely start the game against Portsmouth. Now, the games against Chelsea, he can play those games.
So this is why, if I was an Arsenal fan, there's only reason why I wouldn't panic. Like you said, you have won 8 out of 10 games. If I was an Arsenal fan, I don't care about team politics. I don't care about who is starting, who is on the bench. All I care about is winning games and winning the league. So if I was an Arsenal fan, I'm not too interested, or I'm not too invested in that topic. But other than that, it's a cause for concern. Eze was brought in to be the guy that would basically be the main, maybe not the main, because Saka has kind of taken up that position for a while, but like be like one of the guys.
I don't agree.
Like one of the guys that you look to. Yes.
Do you know why I don't agree? Because if I remember very, very well, when we bought Eze, we only bought Eze when it was clear that Kai Havertz was going to undergo a major surgery that would take him out for half the season. Eze was going to Tottenham. Yes, the reason why we bought Eze was because he can play across. He can play from the left. He can play left 8. He can play left mid. That was why we bought him. We needed an attacker that could cover a range of positions, instead of going for Kai Havertz. That was a smart choice. So, and then what also helped Eze was, early on in the season, Odegaard got injured about 3 times. So he had that run where he just kept playing and just kept playing. And if you notice, even then, he wasn't really playing well. Like, you could tell that he was still trying to get used to the system. There were certain games where you would just be absent, right? Certain games you would just come in, pop in, do 1 assist here, and then that's it. See, believe me, Eze will come good for us now. The same way Gyokeres will. They just need time.
I don't think Gyokeres is who Arsenal fans think he is.
You are guessing it instead. Let me give you an incredible stat. Every game that Gyokeres has started for us this season, we have won. Think about that.
You guys have won almost every game we have played, Gyokeres or not. Who cares? Arsenal win games, Gyokeres or not. So that stat doesn't do much for me. Gyokeres is not scoring and is not exactly giving you value in other areas. At the very least, in the case of Gabriel Jesus, we'll say that, okay, maybe this guy is not scoring, but he can link up play, he can dribble, he can pass the ball, he's creative. There's a lot of good things you can say about Gabriel Jesus, even when he's not scoring. There's not a lot you can say about Gyokeres, and he's not scoring on
There's
top.
a lot that you can say about Gyokeres.
Merino starts in front.
I disagree with that argument.
Merino will start in front and he will score. Gabriel Jesus has scored 2 goals coming off the bench. I won't be surprised if Kai Havertz plays the next game and scores.
Yes,
only one guy is not scoring.
Yet they do not do the work that Gyokeres does. They are not able to do the work that Gyokeres does. I'll break it down for you. Now, he occupies the defenders. That's one thing that Arsenal has been lacking in the last 3 to 4 years. We've not had a striker that is able to occupy the defenders. Havertz doesn't do that. Havertz drops deep to play. Havertz doesn't do that. Trust me, Havertz doesn't remain or stay in the box. Havertz crashes the box. Gyokeres, all he does is wrestle with the centre back. It gives them a lot to think about. Now, when the defenders are busy wrestling with Gyokeres, bothered about the position he's picking up, other players, Trossard, the Martinellis, the Sakas, even recently, Zubimendi, Declan Rice, they are finding those pockets and they are getting the goals. Now, here's the thing. He is not scoring at the moment. He is not scoring for a lack of, or he's not scoring because they're giving him chances and he's missing them. He's scoring because he's not getting those chances. Now, imagine when we get to the point where he starts to get those chances. No, and he will get those chances.
No, he won't.
He will get those chances.
He will not get those chances. I mean, maybe he will. But the reason why he is not getting those chances, I don't believe it's because they're not passing the ball to him. I think his movement sucks.
His movement is helping the team, whether you think it sucks or not. Right now, it is not just helping him as a striker to score goals, but it is helping the team to penetrate the defense better.
I genuinely don't think that Gyokeres' movement is helping the team. When that guy was injured, you guys were still winning games. No. Okay. Hold on.
We're winning games, but we're struggling with those games.
I promise you. Yeah, because you guys had multiple injuries. It wasn't just Gyokeres. I promise you, I'm not even 18 right now. I genuinely think that one thing I'll give Arsenal the for under Arteta is the fact that Arsenal know how to win games. So somehow they manage to win. And I don't think Arsenal's ability to win games, even games that they're not supposed to win, I don't think it depends on Gyokeres. Maybe in the future it will. Right now, it doesn't. I think that Arsenal just win games because maybe they win from a set piece, maybe they win from a scruffle. However they win, they just somehow win. Which is great. I don't think Gyokeres deserves appreciation for that. He's not scoring, yes. Now, one thing I will always give Gyokeres is I think he's a great finisher. Okay, so Gyokeres, in my opinion, his inability to score, I think, has been it boils down to his poor movement and positioning. And think about it. When Merino is in front,
you can always agree to disagree with this.
When Gabriel Jesus comes in, and I don't even rate that guy very much, but he has been scoring. The only person that is not scoring is
Gyokeres has about 6 or 7 goals this season. I don't even know
about 2 or 3 of them are penalties, and the remaining 4, he scored some very annoying dead goals against Atletico Madrid.
Okay, so
he's either scoring penalties or he's scoring some. Like that goal against Atletico Madrid was.
It's a striker's goal because you have to be there. You have to be there. You have to be in the box.
That goal. Oh my God.
Anyways, see this Gyokeres matter. Here's what I think. If Arsenal win the league, I would attribute it to having players like Gyokeres. We didn't have Gyokeres last season, and I see what he does. I see how it affects the team. I see how it helps others play. Now, Gyokeres will still score a lot of goals for Arsenal. Trust me, he will.
He's
It
a good
might
finisher,
not
so
be this
that would
season.
not be weird.
It might not be this season, but he will score goals for Arsenal. I can guarantee that, right? Yes, because of the fee he came in for, you're expecting the result. At the end of the season, people are going to judge him by the goals that he scored. But if Arsenal win the league, nobody's going to care. Arsenal fans
That's
are not
true.
going to care. And if Man U fans are caring, then bother about the what did the Bible say? The log of the I remove it first. Because Shesko that you've bought, how many goals? Kunya, how many goals? Right? You are bothered about the wrong person. Gyokeres is in a team that is top of the league. Whether he's scoring or not, we are still winning. You are not scoring, you are not winning. So what are you talking about?
So this is the thing. This energy.
Don't get me started.
Wait. This energy, genuinely, this energy is the energy that I'm expecting from Arsenal fans. But that's not the energy that Arsenal fans are having. I saw one tweet today where somebody posted a video. I don't remember who passed to Gyokeres. Somebody passed to Gyokeres. Gyokeres made a very simple pass. And the person was crediting Gyokeres for his improved link-up play. And I've been a Manchester United fan. I've had to defend underperforming players that had hype when they were coming. I know how it works. And that is exactly what Arsenal fans are doing. They are grasp. It's like Liverpool fans telling us to watch Vets. They are telling us, no, just watch him. He's running. The guy has had 0 goals, 0 assists for a very long time until the last game week where he scored a goal. Liverpool fans will tell you, watch him. He's running. Bro,
who does he run?
I think Arsenal fans are doing the same thing with Gyokeres.
I guess we'll never know until the end of the season. See, come on, you still have,
like Arsenal fans are looking
have
for
at
all
least,
kinds of
you still have
positives.
at least 25 to 30 games.
See,
A
let me
lot
tell
can
you
happen in 25 to 30
it's okay to admit that Gyokeres currently has been as
no.
hopefully
I can
he will
never
get
agree with
better.
that.
And whether or not he gets better, we are still finding ways to win.
Has it been the
Me, I
best?
think-
Has it been the best? No. Can it be better?
Okay,
Much
let's do-
better,
let's-
yes.
let's
Has
do
it
this,
been
let's do
asked?
this.
No.
Let's do this.
How many goals has Mateta scored this season?
Grade Gyokeres over 10.
Over 10.
Yes.
I'll give him a 6.5 over 10.
That is crazy. That's insane.
How is that crazy?
There's no way Gyokeres deserves anything
I'm giving
beyond
him a 6.5.
3.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
What are you talking about? See, that's because you are judging, and I get it. He's a striker. You're judging him based on the fact that he has to score. But I'm telling you that other elements of his game.
What do you think I will give Sesko? I'm going to give Sesko a 3.
Access with 2.
What is the difference between the two of them? The difference between the two of them is a couple penalties. I swear to God.
I think the difference between the two of them is Sesko is playing in a less performing team. If Sesko was playing at Arsenal, trust me, his numbers would be up. You know that.
Which probably
maybe
means
not as
it's better
much
than
as
Gyokeres,
maybe
but
not
I don't
as
even
much
care
as
about the
Gyokeres,
argument.
but his numbers would. Ekitike, for example, he has scored. Yeah, I think he has only 8 goals. Think about it.
Yeah, but Ekitike was kind of unfortunate because Isak came and
Gyokeres too was
dropped
injured
him.
for like 6 or 7 games. What are you talking about?
But when Gyokeres plays, he does not score. He doesn't even really perform well.
Let's close out.
See, let me tell you
Let's close out with this.
something. I'm telling you, the difference between Gyokeres and Sesko is that Gyokeres plays penalties for Arsenal. Sesko doesn't play penalties for me. See, with Sesko on the pitch, we've probably had like 3 or 4 penalties. Imagine was one that played all those penalties and he scored like 3 of them. It will be with Gyokeres neck and neck in terms of goals.
The reason why he's not taking the penalties is because he doesn't have the confidence to take it.
No, it's not about confidence. It's because Bruno is our designated penalty taker.
You're talking as if it's Gyokeres that has been taking all Arsenal's penalties this season.
Well, whenever he's on the pitch,
Saka has also been taking
how many penalties has Saka taken with Gyokeres on the pitch?
1 or 2. Yeah, there was a game where he could have given Gyokeres. He did not. He scored.
I know, but I'm saying that Gyokeres takes most of the penalties.
Anyways, Soxin, let's leave this Gyokeres matter because this is your agenda. He's going to run to the end of the season. And guess what? This podcast, this channel is here to stay. We'll still revisit it.
And I'll be here.
Anyways,
I'll be here to remind you.
We're going to close with these two because I want us to like briefly brush on the two.
Okay.
I was going to say we'll talk about the Semenyo to Man City, but we can always talk about that later. And the impact that it will have on the title race. I think it would, elevate their squad because Savio honestly is ass. So any other winger that they're bringing in aside from Savio is definitely going to elevate that team. And that's scary because Arsenal, watch out too. But I want us to talk about Liverpool and where you think they would, realistically finish, at the end of this season. And also Aston Villa, as they've had this run of form. Is it just all hype? What do you think? Do you think they still have the squad there to go all the way and challenge Arsenal and City to the end? Liverpool, are they going to make top four? What's going on? They're playing Arsenal, next. What do you think?
Which one are we addressing
I mean,
first?
both of them or anyone, whichever one, you feel like you want to talk about
On the
first.
Liverpool question, I think Liverpool will finish top 4.
Okay, fair enough.
Just based on 2 reasons. The first reason is that I think Liverpool, besides Arsenal and Manchester City, they have the 3rd best squad in the league. So just based on the strength of their squad, I think they can finish top 4, or they will finish top 4. That's one argument. The second argument is that even if Liverpool are not so good, who is good enough to finish above them? We know City will finish above them. We know Arsenal will finish above them.
Aston Villa?
You literally just posed the question of Aston Villa, so that we are not even sure that they will finish above them. But let's say Aston Villa managed to keep up this form. That's 3 positions. Liverpool, as bad as they've been this season, and they've been bad, they are currently number 4 in the league.
And I think they're going to end the season as
And they
third.
will only get better. Like, they cannot get worse.
I think they're
than
going
they've
to
already
end the
been.
season in 3rd place.
Okay, that makes sense to me. Like, I'm not even against that. That makes sense to me. So now you see that if Liverpool finishes, or based on the strength of their squad and the fact that there aren't a lot of teams that are better than Liverpool, let's be honest. As bad as they've been, they are still number 4. So that tells me that they are almost guaranteed top. We had this conversation in the last pod. I don't believe that Aston Villa have enough to compete with Arsenal and Manchester City. So I think that title race, even as much as Aston Villa is currently 2nd and they are 6 points behind Arsenal, I think that title race is between Arsenal and City. But I think they have enough to compete for top 4. They've already done it. They were in the Champions League last season. They've done it before. I think they can do it again. If I was to give you my top 4 prediction right now, I would predict, hopefully, Man City first. Hopefully.
Of course.
Arsenal
Agenda
second.
must agenda.
Yes. Arsenal second. Liverpool third.
Imagine hitting
Aston
Arsenal
Villa
more than Man
4th.
City as a Manchester
Why
United
not?
fan.
I don't have Man City friends. I don't live in the UK,
The
so I
noisy
don't really
neighbours.
care about.
I mean, I get it.
Man
That makes a
City.
lot of sense.
Yeah, but I do think that Aston Villa have enough to finish 4th. I genuinely think so.
I mean, finishing 4th, that's much more realistic, right? I think, and honestly, I've been saying this for the longest time. Yes, they are in a very good vein of form. This Unai Emery is a known bottler. He's a known bottle job. He bottles things everywhere he goes. He was at Arsenal, and this form, we went on something similar when he first came.
It was
there
like
was
a
a narrative.
22 or 23
Yes.
game unbeaten run.
It was a narrative that whenever Mustafi plays, we don't lose Mustafi. Till everything everything went crumbling down, and it all culminated in that final at Baku.
But wait, you don't think that Emery has learnt from that Arsenal?
I don't think,
because I feel like Arsenal fans.
I don't think Emery has learnt.
So here's the thing: I genuinely
don't think
that
Emery has learnt. I think that coaching a team like Aston Villa is his level. He did well when he coached the likes of Villarreal, Sevilla. When he went to PSG, he lost the league.
Yeah, to Monaco.
He bottled that lead against Barcelona. Arsenal, it was a complete disaster. We're trying to make up for, and the last 4, 5, 6 games, we're just doing nonsense. So yes, Aston Villa, that's his level. But
I have a pushback to that.
Mountain, I mean, I don't think it's in a title race. Yes, they are, and I know that those players are not getting ahead of themselves. Like, they're being real, right? Because obviously, I said something. I said they don't have the squad depth for it. They do not have the squad depth for it.
No, they are not going to win the league. I
But
think everybody can pretty much agree on that.
I think will topple them very soon. I think this form that they're on, they'll be found out. The fatigue is going to set in.
I have a pushback to that. I feel like Arsenal fans, and I get, because Emery did not do well with Arsenal. So I get why Arsenal fans don't like him. But I feel like Arsenal fans don't give Emery his credit. You brought up PSG and you brought up Arsenal, and I agree, both points are valid. But think about it. It was after those jobs that he managed Villarreal, and he did really well with them. He even won the Europa League. I think he has done an outstanding job with Aston Villa. Remember that when he got the job,
that's why I said Aston Villa.
Gerrard was the coach,
That's
and
why
he
I
had
said-
Aston Villa bottom.
You are missing my point. Aston Villa is level. Aston Villa is not a top.
So that's the thing. I
top
don't
five,
necessarily
top
think.
six
I don't
club.
necessarily think that
Just the
Aston
same way
Villa
Villarreal wasn't or Sevilla wasn't.
No. So I don't think that Aston Villa is necessarily his level. I think that he had the PSG job, he had the Arsenal job, and it seems to me like Emery has learnt from those experiences. Yes, I think it's the lesson that he took from those experiences that he's taken to Aston Villa, and I think it's translating very well.
So you're
for him.
saying that if Emery were to get the Manchester United job,
I think he could do really well. Obviously, it's hypothetical and it would have to happen, and we'll have to see to believe it.
So
I understand
will
that
you
part.
take Unai Emery over Amorim right now?
Look, I'll take myself. I'll take you over Amorim. Anybody over Amorim. I think Amorim
I
is
don't even know why I asked
manager.
that question.
I will take anybody over Amorim. So yes, I'll take Emery over Amorim. Like yes,
Yeah, that
easy.
might be something to be on the lookout for, because Manchester United might actually turn to Unai Emery if Amorim doesn't work out. Because
you know what?
I think
I'm
about
not even complaining.
I think about who are the like there are no managers like available if you really think about it. Like the managers that are available,
there's a few. I just don't want us to miss out. This guy at Crystal Palace, Oliver Glasner, I think he's
Oliver
a very
Glasner
good
is
manager.
also going to play 3-4-3 now.
But the difference is, so Oliver Glasner
so now
had an interview.
you are
No, wait, hold
3-4-3.
on. Oliver Glasner had an interview where he said that he gave an example where when he was in Germany, he said 4-4-2 is his favorite formation. And he gave an example where he played 4-4-2 and he has played like different formations and he plays different formations
the players
based on the team he has. So we don't know for a fact that if he were to get the Manchester United job, he would play
3-4-3 because the players that are there right now, they are playing.
No, I think you can play a 4-man defense easily. Bruno, Cunha, Mbeumo behind Sesko. That's easy. And you have Maino and Casemiro in midfield. Like you can easily play a 4-man defense with the squad that Manchester United have right now. My point is that Glasner is a very good manager that I think if he got the big job, he could do really well. This guy too, Andoni Raula in Bournemouth, I think he could do a very, very good job. I think there are some good managers. We have, again, managing small clubs and managing big clubs, different stories. So I get that.
Couldn't get it done.
I totally understand that. But I feel like
the pressure of managing Manchester United, trust me, is huge. It is huge. I've seen it. Even Mourinho felt it. You know, the likes of what's this guy? This Netherlands coach,
Van Gaal.
He felt it. Manchester United is not an easy club to manage. As Ferguson's footsteps is so big, the pressure of filling those footsteps will kill you.
The problem with that argument is that right now you don't even have to feel Ferguson's shoes. Like the bar is so low. If you finish, I don't want to go back to the Amorim conversation, but let me just say this. If you finish 15th, by default, you should be eating good next season. Because any small thing you do is automatically an improvement. Because you finish 15th. But somehow we are still in this because it sucks. But yeah.
Anyways, let's not, I think we've said a lot, today. We've been able to really go through some of these topics. We've done our best in trying to debate them. I know myself and Soxy, we don't agree all the time. Thank you very much.
I think I'll be proven right on that Gyokeres topic and I'll be there.
No problem.
I know
as long as we win the league, I'm good. If we don't win the league, then I can say, okay, you were right.